and they're on the red side. And I am joined here in the booth by Superbren. Superbren, welcome, welcome, welcome yet again. How are you doing?
It's fun to be back. I'm ready to go, even if it's earlier than normal.
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
get it. I'm hoping we're in for a good one. DPS have not had the best luck so far this season, and Knights of Ishtar have been essentially they're disputed because Spectre are also fantastic, but
Right.
those two teams just seem to be heads and tails above everybody else, and Knights of Ishtar are gonna lock in the Karma as a first pick.
Hey, Karma's been a priority 100% so far this season. I wonder, we are working on getting some statistics going. Got to keep people on staff working on programmatically using. That's the reason why we use. By the way, if people wonder why do we use tournament codes, it's because at least in past years, that was the only way. That was the best way to accurately to be able to use Riot's API to grab stats, because if you just use a regular custom game, it like didn't show the player names and stuff like that. It was a little bit more complicated. But anyways, we are hoping to eventually get some type of stats like web app going to be able to access that easier for all the players and the casters. That's mostly Vimstat that's working on that, along with some other people in the community. I think Mointment and Bowkeeper. There's some people that are working on stats. We're working on stats. We're going to try to have stats this year, and then I'll be able to more accurately say what the presence of Karma is. But just off the top of my head, I think it's pretty high. I think we've seen Karma like a lot.
It's pretty high in either bans or picks.
Right.
DPS going for the Ivern Shinzao again, and that worked so well the last time they did it. I don't think it's a surprise if they go back to it.
Right. Where do you think the Ivern's going? Do we think it's going to the same place?
That's the thing, right? You can put the Ivern kind of wherever, except I guess ADC.
Right.
You can put him wherever you really feel like putting him.
That's true.
And so it offers a bit of flexibility, even if they don't send it back to the mid lane. But it worked so well in the mid lane last time. We had the fabled Ivern 1v3.
Yeah, incredible. One of my favorite clips of the season so far was the just ridiculous stuff that Ivern. And we've actually had a lot of good clips this season, to be honest. I'm maybe looking for another. If you dabble in video editing, if you're listening here, you're like, I'd like to edit some League of Legends clips together, then hit me up. Hit me up. We are looking to get some more of our clips together up on the YouTube channel, and
final
some more
bans
bands
come out.
Yeah.
We see Lulu and Gragas taken off the table by Knights of Ishtar. I think Lulu's a really smart ban. It's someone that, you know, probably one of the best supports to put with Jinx. Increased attack speed, a massive shield, a massive health increase. Jinx benefits so much from that. And smartly from DPS, they banned out, it seems to be a permaban after week 1, that Karthus, after they said, hey, we can put this in 3 positions, you cannot leave this up against us. No one's tried it again.
I think literally said that in the call, right? Like in the post-game interview, I think maybe Frostbite specifically did say that.
Yeah,
if you're
paying
paying attention,
they said this is a 3-way flex. Like you have to ban it against us.
Yeah.
And so people have respected it. We see the.
That's why it's important to listen to those end game interviews. We're trying to be competitive in this league. Some people just be telling you what to do.
Out comes the Nautilus. Maybe it's a bit of a ploy though. Knights of Ishtar haven't dropped the series so in the first 2 weeks, and you know, even if you ban the Karthus against them, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they're just trying to get a ban out of you.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
Senna comes out as the last.
Look at this
pick.
lineup. Look at this Jax, Mordekaiser, Aatrox lineup with Senna and Karma. Oh my god.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We are playing on 14.6 though, right?
Yeah.
So that means I believe they just dropped Senna's soul drop rate.
Right. Whenever she's
farming
farming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So she has to fast. Well,
she's essentially.
I mean, have to is in quotes, but.
Yeah, you can still just, you know, ball out, get a bunch of kills, and get your stats that way. And a Rek'Sai pick. That is
interesting.
Unusual.
I'm actually super looking forward to this Rek'Sai pick personally. This is very just personally for me because I've recently been trying to play Rek'Sai. And I've literally been trying to learn her like the past week or so. I was like, hey, she seems interesting. She has pretty good stats on op.gg, and then I'm trying to learn jungle. So I've been like, I'll watch how does an actual person that knows how to play Rek'Sai play this character, because I am telling you, I am god awful at her. It's so bad. I literally forgot that I forgot one of my abilities like the first 3 games I played her. I didn't realize that I had an E both when burrowed and unburrowed. Like, it was bad. I wasn't using my bite. at all for like 3 games, and I was wondering why I did so little damage.
If you guys haven't seen a Rek'Sai in a while, which I don't blame you, it's not the most common champion nowadays. They actually did make Rek'Sai a little bit easier, specifically the Void Rush. I'm sorry, Etoe. I had to.
So as I say, I've been really struggling with Rek'Sai. I really suck with her recently. Like, yeah, so they actually recently made Rek'Sai easier? Question mark?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
but,
she can't be canceled whenever she gets stunned or something like that out of her ulti, I think I read.
Well, it's now that the ulti, you used to have to not target players. You would use it untargeted and in the direction of a player, because that would increase the range if you used it untargeted versus you had to get within a certain range to target a player. But that is no longer the case. They increased the range on targeted Rs, which made her a little bit more accessible. But that's like a niche piece of knowledge. You still have to know how to play Rek'Sai, and not a straightforward play style at all.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're just picking up the champion and you may have had a little bit of struggle games, you know, then there is still some hope for you.
No, yeah. Specifically, the Void Rush got a little bit easier to manage, but you know, having the burrowed playstyle is like essentially a whole extra kit that you have to learn.
Yeah.
And so it's not necessarily, even though, like, it's one of those champs that's mechanically not the most complex, but there's quite a bit going on. There's quite a bit of strategy to how you use that kit.
Yeah. Also, I realized does not have a lot of base HP at early levels. I realized very quickly I'm actually very squishy early on, but it does have an incredible early game. Definitely one of those champions. And oh my God, it's top. Oh.
I imagine we see the Xinjiao go into the second slot here into the jungle.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's
All right.
exactly what we'll see.
Well then, Iron is.
You know what we didn't point out? There's 3 junglers on the side of DPS. There's 3 top laners.
I was thinking on the side of Ishtar. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, hey, we have Aatrox, Mordekaiser, and Jax right now on the top side of Ishtar.
Yeah, Knights of Ishtar said you can't counter pick our Aatrox. We're picking every meta top laner.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are ours. Give them back.
Yeah, what a draft. Literally, yeah, the 3 meta tops we can rotate. Whatever you choose top, we'll just rotate that top laner for the matchup. That's incredible. What a draft right there. These are 2 of the best drafting teams too. These are 2 teams with a lot of experience from past seasons. We've seen DPS, specifically Your Bad Connection and Craig. We've seen them for seasons. Knights of Star, we've seen them for a long time. So definitely going to get some good drafts whenever these 2 teams are up against each other.
They are opting to put the Senna into the ADC slot and not try and opt for some shenanigans.
But will they farm? But will Frostbite farm is the question.
I do wonder, because I don't see Karma as having the easiest time as a quote-unquote farming support. I think generally one of the advantages of a farming support is when you do it with a tank, because those support-based tanks are so incredibly powerful when they have access to like a real champion's economy. Specifically, I really like Leona as a champion that normally she's very balanced around the fact that she is a support and is not really gonna gain that much gold on their own. When she gets a couple extra 100 gold, she can pick up much more powerful items, and she becomes pretty unremovable from the field, unless you really tunnel her down. Nautilus is a fairly similar situation. Obviously, that was picked by DPS. I do wonder if they're going to be able to farm with that Karma, or if Frostbite's willing to just bite the bullet and say, I actually don't need stacks. I want the kit specifically for this game. Not really sure. We'll find out, though. We've only got to wait a few minutes, sadly, as even with the tournament code, you still have to deal with spectator delay. So
well, we need spectator delay. It's good that we have spectator delay. Without it, then we'd have to do all sorts of other shenanigans to make artificial delay. So having spectator delay makes it so we don't have to do artificial delay on the stream, which is like more intensive for the computer. So,
but Etoe, I want League of Legends now. I don't want League of Legends in 3 minutes.
It's okay. We can just run a nice little ad break. I forgot I was doing that. Hold up. Wait, where's my ad break button? Where's my ad break button? Where's my yeah. Hold up. And yeah, we'll be right back after this 1-minute ad break. I'm so glad I could do that. All right. Okay, are you positive 5?
Yes, sir.
Where is this music tab? I have so many tabs open. Chat. I have so many tabs open. Chat. I have so many tabs open. Where? Okay, here we are. We're zoomed out. All right, ready for the countdown?
Alrighty, let's do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's get into it. Our first game of BTL Season 16, Week 3. We have Knights of Ishtar versus DPS.
Yep, both teams gonna kind of stack up here. Actually, no, never mind. DPS actually spreading out. Interesting. I guess with the Ivern, you don't have the level 1 power that you know you might want to normally capitalize on. Nautilus has a lot of power at level 1 because he can use his root on as many targets as he wants. Anyone he can auto, he can get a root on with effectively only the cooldown of his auto timer and how long it takes him to walk to him. And so with Q and auto at level 1, I think he's got to be my favorite support to level 1 invade with. Maybe Braum.
Really? I was like, really? More than Braum? Yeah, because Braum
does it pretty good.
Yeah. Blitzcrank?
But I'm not.
Blitzcrank has
at Blitzcrank. I am terrible at Blitzcrank. I can play every other hook champion. Like, I just cannot play Blitzcrank. I don't think I've ever had a good game on that dude, man.
I feel you. I hardly ever play Blitz too. Actually, yeah, I hardly never play Blitz. I should try that. I should try to get level 7 on Blitz. That should be my next goal. I like to do that. Just grind a champion until I can get just confident, or like, not confident. What's the word? Like a base level of being
competent?
Okay. There we go. Competence, the word. Competent enough to get level 7 on him.
Yeah, It's fun. I know a guy who would just every week he would just play a new top laner until he got the chest, and then he'd play a new top laner. And I mean,
Honestly, that's kind of fun.
bro had like unlimited skins.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just some short health trades. The range advantage actually kind of favoring Quaker in the mid lane there, able to essentially he's gonna be able to poke down Ventro. Ventro's not really gonna have much of a response until he has at least another level to get the Death's Grasp.
Oh god, 2024. I can't believe we're watching Ivern mid with.
We're watching Ivern mid
against Mordekaiser. Ivern versus Mordekaiser mid is what we're watching right now. That's what's going on. Ooh, first hook's not gonna land there in the bot lane.
That speaking of that top lane Rek'Sai, not a lot of answers into Tygoon's Aatrox. Obviously, Tygoon very very good on Aatrox, but tough for Rek'Sai to do a whole lot in this matchup. I guess while tunneled, you have the Prey Seeker to try and poke out, but I think it's going to be more of a matter of surviving and waiting for some help from the numerous characters on DPS that can roam around the map and make impact. We do have Shinzao sitting outside.
So
Mr. Krabs going in, gets the knockup on Tygoon. Tygoon throws out the Infernal Chain, does miss, but it doesn't matter. Mr. Krabs is going to back out, just take his advantage of farm.
We're
Black
also
Fate
watching
sitting
Ivern top.
here.
Oh,
Gets the
interesting.
engage. Dodges the Death Grasp, gets the knockup. Ventro is rooted. Ventro probably gonna have Ventro's resetting.
What a good use
really
of
good play.
Ivern Bush's mid. That's so good, actually.
They're actually gonna combo this. They're gonna take that advantage now with the mid priority and try and invade.
Oh,
here.
that's what you should be doing. Okay.
The engage. He's stunned, but he gets the knockup after the flash. Roberto goes down here. A really, really solid first blood. Smart play after
that was well done. That was a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
They got that priority
Ooh,
mid. And
look
they
at those tunnel usage.
knew
Look
where
at
to
that
took
tunnel usage. Yeah, that's that middle of the lane Rek'Sai tunnel usage right there.
You gotta beware, man. He's gonna tunnel over to you, and then out comes the knockup and the damage.
What's going on here?
You mentioned Rek'Sai's got a fairly decent early game.
Yeah.
Another fight happening here. Black Fate though getting pretty low. Ventro is rooted,
Oh my
but
God. Wait,
there's
why
more
is
members
Black Fate
here
here
for.
still? Wait, why is Black Fate there
Fish
still?
gonna claim Black Fate, who just oversteps. Pretty fatal mistake there. Another just a little bit more poke coming out, building up the Fury.
But 1000 CLG.
Come up, then eventually just re-tunnel again and get all that health back. You can see in the top right corner, Mr. Krabs gets a bunch of health back for building up that Fury before tunneling once again. The only lane where we really haven't seen any serious action is the bot side. Milkman stepping forward, but it doesn't look like he's going to try and change that yet. Tygoon and Mr. Krabs trading the Prey Seeker misses. Mr. Krabs has to be careful. Caught by the Infernal Chains, gets dragged back. Tygoon's got the Conqueror fully stacked, but is unfortunately just doesn't have any Darkened Blade or just didn't want to continue the fight. Maybe he's worried about where Black Fate is. I feel like he could have stepped forward there.
Yeah, I expected it to really go in more on that.
I just expect that out of Tygoon to just like, just ball, just go in, just gap the opponent. Frostbite lands the Son of W. The roof comes down.
Milkman,
and we are seeing
known
it is
as Stevie Wonders, by the way. The Milkman recently changed his name to the Milkman.
Karma is in fact farming this game.
Yeah. We forgot to.
It is a Karma with a Doran's Ring and a Senna with a World Atlas.
Oh, another fun fact about Milkman, since that is Stevie Wonder. That's also the guy that just wrote those power rankings, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. The Milkman right now, if you had problems with the way that he judges in the power rankings, you can judge him right now on stage. That is the Milkman.
I'm not going to advocate for you to flame him in the chat.
I'm not saying flame him, but, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think I respect the honesty. I think the power rankings were I'd say they're fairly accurate. Maybe it disagreed by a spot or two on any given team, but I don't know. It felt I would rank the teams fairly similarly. You, Etoe?
Fair enough. Now, to be fair, I was in the bathroom whenever you posted those, and I immediately came here and set up the stream, so I haven't read them yet. But I'm sure that they are super fair. In fact, let's see if I can alt tab and do this right now.
While he's looking there, Quaker's just using those brushes. The brushes do give him an additional amount of damage on hit for standing in them. So he's just going to use those to help himself farm up. He actually is up farm just barely. Able to take a winning trade here. Ventro has to back off once again.
KY, Spectre, KOS, LSD, Mighty Throws, Catboys, DPS, Frostline. So he has DPS as 7th right now. I mean, I guess they haven't won. They haven't won yet. Same with Frostlines. Okay, no, that's fair. I think this is fair.
I think
maybe Cowboys is probably a little bit lower than.
Yeah, I think that would be like my only disagreement. Tygoon again taking a short trade here. I wonder if he opts to step forward this time. He doesn't know that Black Fate is up top. No wards for Knights of Ishtar at all on that side of the map. Black Fate waiting. Knock up for Mr. Krabs. Here he comes. The Xinjiao wind becomes lightning. Goes in. It misses, but he gets the dash in anyways. Gets the knock up.
Oh my goodness! But he's taking a lot of damage. Oh my god!
Gets the kill. Now he's got his jungler. He's gonna turn on to Mr. Krabs, but Mr. Krabs able to use the tunnel to get away. Vaperto did use the ghost there. Not worth it, it seems. My goodness.
They didn't get Mr. Krabs. They did get Black Fate.
No. Oh yeah, no. I meant the gank for Black Fate. Not worth it.
Okay. Yes. 100%. The exact opposite of worth it, in fact. Oh!
The ghost, also technically not worth it, because Tycoon 1v2'd that fight.
Yeah.
My goodness. You just...
Interesting.
Gotta be careful around this guy. Mr. Krabs stops his back. Tygoon retaliates by slapping him over the head with the great sword.
I'll say Rek'Sai does heal so much. It's just back to the ground. Oh, looks like I'll take some damage. Back into the ground. Let me get some
Another
Fury and hit back into the ground.
lands, building up that Fury once again.
This idea to play Rek'Sai top is so interesting to me. Because it feels like she's a character that's so built for jungle. Like there's some characters that are just like built for jungle. I guess they're playing 2 characters built for jungle in the solo lanes right now.
Yeah.
So I mean
DPS's strategy. They saw what happened with the Kazakhs. Black Fate pulled up the Kazakhs. He lost. They're like, our jungler can't solo carry, so we'll just get more junglers. Speaking of, they have 3 people in the mid lane. Ventro gets hit by the dredge line, but it doesn't matter because Vaperto's here.
They're playing juggernauts all over the place, so they're just so tanky.
Yeah, Tygoon, again, just putting that damage into Mr. Krabs. Now that he's back, he's got a Tunneler and a Caulfield's Warhammer. He really outdamaged the Rek'Sai that opted for the breakable vest
is going tank, I see. Interesting. I guess when you're up against Aatrox, I understand.
You're almost legally required to go Bramble Vest first. Yeah. Knights of Ishtar are grabbing the grubs here, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any real response. The first dragon was already grabbed by DPS. Nothing really going on. Quaker, again, just using his brush to farm, sidesteps the Death's Grasp, going to walk forward. He doesn't know that Frostbite's there, but I don't think that's going to matter. Frostbite's going to have to rush back down to bot side. Out comes the Death Charge. Chomper's out. The Dawning Shadow helps him.
No.
Oh,
no.
Down.
Oh, no.
This dive is turning terrible. Your bad connection at half health. Black Fate at half health. They're able to get the Karma, but at what cost? My goodness. Are they about to send 3 people to the Death Realm? Mordekaiser does not care. He's got the Jinx stats.
No.
Those auto attacks are disgusting. And a double kill for the mid laner. The Iron Emperor takes no prisoners. A woeful dive for DPS.
Oh, no, that's a disaster. Oh, that's such a disaster. Oh, and now Mordekaiser's 3-0.
I mean,
that's a disaster.
I understand what they're trying to do there, but what do they need to do differently for that to, you know, be a successful dive rather than what we unfortunately just saw? The Daisy coming out to fight Ventro mid. Ventro's actually losing to the Daisy.
Oh, yeah. We've seen this before.
Oh, if that Q hits, Daisy takes him, but
maybe they need Daisy. Maybe they need to bring someone else there. I didn't see who was originally tanking the tower. but they died relatively fast. I didn't see
It
the entire
was
thing.
Milkman on the Nautilus took the tower, but he got ignited and was Death by Video Game just kited perfectly. I will say Death by Video Game has had such a good split so far. They have 4 people in the bot, but
okay.
not
With
sure
4
it's
people,
gonna
can they
matter.
dive 3? No. The answer is no, probably not.
It's not gonna happen. Vaperto, just able to dodge out on all those autos, walk away, and I think they used Quaker's teleport, and that feels like a bit of a head scratcher. You knew they had all 3 there. I suppose there was nothing to fight for in the mid lane, but at that point, just sit on your teleport.
Yeah, there's no neutral objectives coming up. Really, no reason to use that teleport there. Now they're just kind of be suffering down there. Yeah, now they're just kind of suffering in the bot lane.
Frostbite willing to step forward, got good pokes onto your bad connection.
Yeah, not gonna get punished for it. Stepping forward into a Nautilus, but doing just fine.
Black Fate clearing out the bot side, and KOI is pushing forward. There is an opportunity here, if the timing is right, for Black Fate to come over and get a good engage, maybe get a gank to help put his team back.
Blue team
in the fight.
seems to be aware of Black Fate's positioning with the question mark ping on top of them.
Yeah, you see the pings come out, they know, but they're still stepping forward anyways. Quaker in the mid lane taking so much damage.
See,
The shield's
this man's
gonna
a
come out. The
monster
Ventro
right
is
now.
gonna take him down. The flash route, but Quaker still up.
Yeah, no,
the
they're
power of
brutal.
those shields pretty
much.
strong, but not strong enough. Again, back to the death realm. Mordekaiser 4-0 now. He's got a 400 gold bounty. He's a bit of a monster right now.
Yeah. Do they even scale in this game? They kind of UBC always plays a scaling ADC. They kind of need him to go crazy, but he's not necessarily a head down in the bot lane, especially with that failed dive earlier. We need that to go better to get more resources into UBC. So this is a tough one because I don't think they scale anywhere on the top side of the map.
No, yeah, that's the thing. Their big hope is that Jinx is gonna scale, but
Wait, where's Jax been this whole game? I just realized we have seen very little of Roberto. Very little. He is 0-1-0. We have seen very little of that, and he's Jax, so he's just
responding to a
somewhere.
lot of ganks.
Yeah.
But like his team just seems to be fine without him, so he's just been farming.
Yeah,
Venture steps a little
and
far
he's
forward.
like
Quaker
usually a
and
huge part of this team.
Daisy,
Oh,
but
there he is.
Vaperto's here too. Dawning Shadow gonna keep Ventro alive. These Dawning Shadows have been massive. Black Fate goes down. Ventro still has the passive going. Vaperto stepping forward. Tygoon's here as well. And the knockup from Darken Blade doesn't get the 3rd Q. Gets an auto, but now he's taking 2 tower shots. It doesn't matter. He's tanky enough that he's going to get out.
Yeah.
Quaker, though, Daisy slows, buying him enough time to get out of there. Tygoon thinks better of attempting to get that kill. And everyone's going to reset that. They get another kill here. They're up 3,500 gold.
You know, I didn't really think about this much after the champ select, but I think this is that's the best game to lose.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man,
Sleepy
sorry. My
Etoe is about to miss out some high-octane top lane action.
No,
A
we're watching
bruiser
it.
slapping a tank. He doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. I think. I don't.
Here comes Vaperto. The stun.
This
The
is-
counter-strike is
ooh,
out.
yeah,
Out
see.
comes that so much damage.
Oh,
The
there's
Wizard blocking is
Vaperto. I was
nothing.
asking where he is. There he is, actually. The Jax is in
Yeah,
fact
he-
still here. Yeah, they
hit
don't.
the
They don't
first
scale
side of
anywhere.
power spike.
They don't scale anywhere. I don't. They don't
He hit
outscale
the first
anywhere.
hit
This
of
is so
power spike,
tough.
And, he just decided it's time to fight. And
Yeah.
you are right. They don't scale across the map, other than Jinx, who gets outscaled for the fact that it's Senna on the other side.
Exactly. It's so
Charge
tough.
comes out bot lane.
They
Your
need to
back
be
connection
very
using the
far
ghost.
ahead in this early
Flame
game.
choppers come down, but it doesn't matter. Fishbone's the rocket launcher doing
Oh,
good damage, but it's
no.
just not enough.
Disaster.
Milkman goes down instead. It just feels like every time DPS tried something, they're just getting out-handsed by Knights of Ishtar.
Hands. They got those hands. That's just unfortunate. Uh-oh. There's a lot of
Look at that.
yeah.
They know where he is,
Yeah,
and
there's a lot
Venture's
of,
coming up on the flank. Barely sidesteps the death scratch there. Vaperto getting good damage down. Here comes Tygoon. Out comes
Ooh.
the ultimate. Here he goes. The 3rd Q gets the kill. Gets knocked back. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And
he's not going
dang,
to. They're not going to fail their
6-0.
tower dive.
Ventro is unstoppable.
Oh no. Here's good to teleport.
First kill in a while. Finally picked up on the bot side. They're able to kill the
Someone's
Karma
here.
and they're able to kill the Senna, but now Ventro is here, and this is a 1v2 he's willing to take. He is so strong. He's got Jinx's stats. His auto attacks are going to hit. Look at that Q.
My God.
Needs to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage from Daisy. Out comes the W shielding. Quaker
Yo,
almost going
Daisy,
down, but just
it's
not
just
quite enough.
just
Milkman able to
going
root
crazy.
it. Ventro gets the last kill just before they give the shutdown to Quaker, who has the most kills for poor DPS. You put all your kills onto your AP Ivern, and that's not a recipe for success.
It's hilarious, though. It is very funny.
But Perto, just walking forward, does not care that he's outnumbered here. Gets the stun. Look at the amount of damage onto Blackfate. Gets him to half health just with a few autos. Mr. Krabs teleports in, but it doesn't matter. All of Knights of Ishtar, barring one member, is here. They outnumber them now after taking down poor Milkman. Once again, Mr. Krabs down to half health. Frostbite stepping forward. Gonna retreat back to the dragon now. Flame Chompers are down. Quaker's here. It's a 4-on-4 again, but now it's a 5-on-4. Out comes the Daisy. Doesn't matter. The stun comes down. Tygoon doing ridiculous amounts of damage. He's stepping forward. Another kill. Oh my goodness. It's just, it's a slaughter. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
And that dragon fight, as one-sided as you like. Now up 2 dragons to 1. They've got map control. They've got objective control. They're about to get this mid lane turret. There's really not much hope here for poor DPS. Another fight coming out on the bot side. It is Milkman against Tygoon. Not a very fair matchup, but Milkman has the tower to help him out a little bit. Looks like he's going to have to concede it. He's backed up. They've got 4 in the mid lane trying to take out that mid lane turret. DPS might want to collapse onto them, but it doesn't matter. They're all getting away. And they've collapsed onto Milkman, who just gets deleted. Ventro takes Quaget to the death realm. He's trying to take him out now. Gets the demolish over the tower. Blackfate goes in. Doesn't matter. His ultimate gonna keep him safe for just a moment, but everyone just immediately collapses onto him. I mean, an unlimited amount of damage. Quaget rooted now in the back line. He's able to stay alive, but not for long as the Senna pulls him apart piece by piece. Tygoon going back on a year bad connection. This Jinx isn't going to have time to scale. It doesn't matter. They're going to end the game here in less than 25 minutes at this rate.
Oh, yeah,
Ventro's going to die to the tower, though. The shutdown going to Milkman, the Nautilus.
They're down 12.
And they're going to take the tower and back out.
Yeah. 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 So for
21 to 7 is the kill score. 11,000 gold lead.
All right. So the plan for the future. So how do they get back into this? Well, they get back into this by in game 2. They're gonna have to definitely draft something different. I think the solo lanes probably weren't really the play here. I think you got to give some more agency to your potential carries. And yeah, because what was the game plan here? Black Fate and your bad connection ends up trying to carry this game because you don't have a lot of damage outside of that at all. Like at all. You don't have scaling really either. You have a lot of utility, then you're just going up against these juggernauts and you have no damage to really cut through them. Like, what was the game plan here?
When they get that early lead, these guys are up items, and so now not only do you do no damage, even the tanky ones do more damage than you. It's just really
it's unfortunate though. DPS also has one less ban because of this reschedule. So they are struggling in multiple ways. They are going to be able to cut down Senna here, but the rest of it, everybody does damage. Because everybody does it. It's not just Senna. Everybody on the enemy team does damage because they have Aatrox, Jax, and Mordekaiser. They don't have a lot of range. Their range is only in the bot lane, but it's. I mean, they don't have a mage.
It does.
Outside of Karma, if you count Karma, but I mean, it doesn't really matter because neither does the other side. No one here has a control mage here.
Gonna get knocked up by Black Fate now. In comes Daisy. Daisy not going to be enough. Quaker taking a lot of damage. Tygoon comfortable in the 1v2, but maybe a little bit too comfortable. Doesn't matter. Gets 1 kill off. The healing is ridiculous. Gets 2 kills. And the Baron. Mr. Krabs going to get a consolation tower in the mid lane, but he's going to die for it. The Senislow comes out. He tunnels back over the wall. The only way he gets out is if Knights of Ishtar decide, yep, more value in the mid lane. Here they go. Your bad connection needs to be careful. Even with Milkman with them, you're outnumbered 4-2.
Yeah, this is really tough. Someone in the chat mentioned Knights of Ishtar got their Juggernauts as GG. I think that maybe this has been a comp that they've been working on here, that they've been cooking up. Of course, Knights of Istar has many comps, but what does DPS do about this comp? Like, what's your solution here? What is the weaknesses of these
I
juggernauts? That you just
mean,
need to have like a really strong marksman, and
what
UBC
is
is
my
very capable of
solution?
doing that.
You have to first, but like you mentioned, you have to give some agency to some of your solo lanes. I think
Yeah.
Kugert's a very, very strong player. I'd like to
Yeah.
see him on something that actually can cut through those tanks. Even if he's
Right.
got a Leandries right now, he just doesn't
Yeah, give
have,
me a Cassiopeia, Malzahar, or
he
something like
doesn't
that. I
have
guess.
the ability to really do that percent health damage. So that's something I'd like to see. Mr. Krabs is honestly, he's doing pretty well, all things considered. He's 0-1
Yeah,
and 2.
yeah, he had a fine lane, but he
So
can't really.
I'd like to see, since it seems that he can match Tygoon, put him on something that he can actually brawl with. Tygoon
Right.
has the Aatrox, which is something he's gonna be comfortable fighting on. All right, in comes the Milkman, gets the depth charge knockup, but Tygoon unleashes the Darkened Form. Here he comes. The World Ender is ridiculous. So is... Oh my goodness, I can't. There's just too much going on, man. Look at this. It's a slaughter. It's not close. It's not fair. Venture has a triple kill. He's up 13-2.
Yeah, they're up 14K at 23 minutes. Like this is
his soul
ridiculous.
is once again bound to iron, and I think DPS are bound to another L. Because my goodness, this game was as tilted as you like, one-sided, sloped, any word you can use to describe it.
Warm-up game, baby. That's
yeah,
what I heard, a warm-up game.
We want to talk about what do you do about that. The draft does have to change a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
They picked something that Xin Zhao is an early game jungler. He's able to gank very early. At around level 3, his ganks become very, very powerful. When it becomes like into a dash, into a knockup. Yeah.
Personally, I feel like they don't need damage in the jungle. They don't need their jungler to be on a carry. They need their jungle to be on utility.
I think,
especially in this matchup against Roberto, 100%. Roberto is probably the best jungle, although he didn't do much this game, he didn't have to, but I think he definitely just like I don't know, like something with the idea of like a Maokai, and then you put carries in your solo lanes and put like utility to enable UBC. I don't know. But this ain't it. This was not it, I would say.
Hey, I will say Quaker on the Ivern kept up in damage with a 13 kill
Kragan on Ivern. You could probably keep Kragan on Ivern because first of all, it's hilarious. And it does do a lot, but I think you definitely put Mr. Krabs on something with a little bit more agency up in the top side. And I think he can put like the tank or something, put that on Black Fate.
Yeah, and if you're going to pick something
play a Mumu.
If you're going to pick something for early game, agency, you can't lose the early game. Right, you have to come out. You have to be securing objectives. You have to be ganking lanes, and you can't be losing 1v2.
I think it's so hard to not lose the early game to Knights of Istar in this case. I think you have to play for scaling.
Which just that signals pick something different in the draft, right?
Yeah,
pick something to play for later.
Yeah.
Something I like if you still want early game agency. I think this would solve a lot of their problems. Talked about wanting Black Fate on a tank, giving him some utility. If he still wants to have early impact, put him on Sejuani. Sejuani has crazy high early game base damages, but doesn't really fall off late game because the amount of, peel and CC that they provide for their team, very, very valuable. So I feel that Sejuani is a very good jungle pick for people that want early agency but still want to impact late. Look there, maybe? I don't know. This is a really, really tough game to draw anything from. Just at every turn, DPS were on the back foot.
Yeah. Okay, I accept the invite to the next lobby a little bit too early while we're still looking at the post-game stats. So, whoops, those are no longer on the stream. Tiger invited me. I was like, yeah. I see invite. I click button, and I didn't really think about the fact that would change my screen. So, whoopsie daisy. But we are just going to get ready to see what they do in Game 2. I am very curious to see. Now, I do have faith in, again, I have faith in DPS. I starts from the beginning. Okay. Okay, we should soon be getting ready for game 2. I think so. At least I'm pretty sure these teams want to get through. At least DPS wants to get through this match relatively quickly. That's why we are here 2 hours earlier because I'm not. I think someone had a commitment for later in the day. So hopefully we should be getting on to game 2 soon. We just saw Knights of Istar have a very, very dominating game 1 performance with a very interesting draft as well with the. Let's in fact let's look at the. Let's see. They haven't started yet. Okay. Let's look at that old draft. Let's look at the last draft. Let's give it a second. Yeah. Let's look at that last draft real quick and see what changes we think that this makes. So, last game, DPS was blue side, and they did B1 Karma. I don't think there's anything.
Knights of Ishtar was blue side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Knights of Istar was blue side. You're correct. I'm literally looking at it. Yeah, they did B1 Karma, which I mean is good, and then we respawn with Ivern and Zhao, and I think that immediately pigeonholes you. If you do Ivern and Zhao, because I was like, all right, you're gonna put your you're saying what your jungle and mid are essentially, because if you put there's no flex there, right? If you do Ivern and Zhao,
you could argue Ivern could possibly go in the top side, but we had already seen Ivern Shinjao last week, so we know what your game plan is.
Right.
Like we've seen you run this already. It no longer works as this like
Jeez.
Dale Gribble pocket sand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's we know the strat here. We're ready for it. We put on some goggles.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that was immediately. So they're like, okay, then we see Knights of Istar pick Jax Mordekaiser, which ended up being their jungle in mid. I'm not sure if DPS was aware of that at the time. That was their jungle in mid, but I guess you look at Jax Mordekaiser like, well, one of them is certainly. I mean that could but it could be top and mid, to be honest. Like you don't necessarily know that.
And I'd assume with a strong.
Oh, okay. They are ready now for the draft. So we do have live, and we're gonna see. Yeah, DPS is gonna ban out that Karma and ban out the Lilia. DPS bans out Lilia is interesting to me because I know that Black Fate plays some Lilia, and I wouldn't hate that, especially if they're going to do this like super tanky frontline comp. I think Lilia is good into that. We're going to see the Kazakhs gets banned away from Knights of Istar. Interesting that they ban away the Kazakhs.
Yeah.
Because that didn't.
Listen, I don't think Black Fate played that poorly on Kazakhs. He was ahead by a lot. It's the fact that it's
the
Kazakhs,
champion.
Man.
Yeah.
Champion's bad.
Yeah.
Except in ARAM, bro. Kazakhs in ARAM goes a little crazy. That's funny.
I've never heard that before.
Bro, you just turn invisible, you land on someone, they stop existing, you jump away.
We're gonna see some Volibear and some Sipper here and some Veigar. Okay,
right,
we definitely have some carries. Yeah, we have some scaling for sure. You say Sipper and Veigar, you got some scaling, baby. And we're going to see that they're going to play Draven. Okay, they're going to go for a more traditional bot lane with the Nautilus Draven. Fantastic bot lane. A bot lane that I'm sure the likes of Large Skill Disparity would drool about. If they could get Nautilus Draven bot lane, which they will literally never, ever get. But if they could, boy, oh boy.
I think Knights of Ishtar looked at DPS and said, we're going to show you how early game is done. I mean, I think Diego pops off at one item. He's so good with Kraken Slayer. And Nautilus Draven, just, it doesn't really matter who you put them against. They're going to take over that lane. They're just both so strong. They're going to ban out the Aatrox DPS are. I wonder if that indicates, I imagine this Volibear is jungle, but it could be a top lane pick. Since
it could,
you know, I don't know.
Volibear's been very good in the jungle recently, statistically, just what I can tell, from what I could see on my op.gg.
The only one the only person I've seen have played it that excited me, where I was like, yeah, that guy can play a Volibear jungle. In Defiance, man, that guy went kind of crazy on it.
In Defiance loves his Volibear.
I banned out the Braum and the Gragas. So
I saw Gragas as being a pretty good pick into Aatrox. I believe that was last week, or maybe earlier this week.
Yeah.
I forget who.
Gragas while ahead just means Aatrox can't really do anything. Aatrox is banned, so it's definitely not a matchup we're gonna see.
True. It's interesting
to see that no one really bans for DPS is
Tygun's Fiora anymore, but I guess he doesn't also.
They did not ban anyone. I'll check chat to see.
Question mark?
Ziggs. They're saying I'm seeing Ziggs in chat.
Ziggs is the ban. Ziggs is the ban?
Ziggs is the
I
ban.
didn't go through.
Does Night? Okay,
Interesting.
chat, help me out here. Do they like? Does Venture have like a cracked Ziggs?
I am not sure. When I think of Ziggs, I usually think of actually old DPS. There used to be a team that used to run like Ziggs Tristan all the time. I think that was old DPS. So that's not Vel'Koz.
We banned Ziggs. I don't know why it didn't go through. They say that's not Vel'Koz.
Nah, because the Milkman.
Xerath comes out for Knights of Ishtar.
Interesting.
So I think that's a really smart play into the Veigar. Apparently DPS's draft might be a little bugged because it's not showing up. They're saying they drafted a Jax in the 4th slot there.
Okay.
I don't hate it. It's definitely going to help against the likes of Draven and Viego. Even Nautilus, you can't get rooted if you don't get autoed. I don't like it. I don't hate it, rather. It's a really good pick. And they pick up the Rakan as their last pick. Actually, I'm iffy about the Rakan. I personally really love Rakan. I think he's one of the best supports consistently, patch after patch. There's a reason he has so many world skins, guys.
Seen it a lot in BTL as well. Ooh, Poppy's a good answer to Rakan.
Nautilus destroys Rakan so hard. Because the Rakan generally can go in and get out safely, but with Nautilus, he goes in and then Nautilus drops a depth charge on him, or he autos him, and Rakan's not getting away. Rakan is fairly tanky, but not tanky enough to survive getting rooted for that long. And Poppy in the top lane's also going to help shut that down. It's a pretty good draft out of Knights of Ishtar. I don't hate DPS's draft. I think it's just a little more difficult to execute.
That's fair, but they definitely did solve some of the problems that I said that they had from the first game. But so Knights of Ishtar also chose a completely different draft, essentially. And so, like, Knights of Ishtar was like, oh yeah, great. You drafted against our game 1 combo. This is game 2. We have an entirely different combo.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll say it. I personally really love the Poppy pick. I think Poppy is fairly flexible. Poppy, even though it's picked last, we know it's going in the top side. Poppy can be a jungler, and if you're really spicy, Poppy can be a support.
They missed a ban as well. I didn't realize that they missed their.
Yeah,
their last ban. Yeah. Ziggs.
Ban was Ziggs. I like the Xerath pick into the Veigar. I think I said that earlier, but you just outrange Veigar so much, and Veigar really wants to hit you with abilities to help stack in between farm. Like, he wants to kind of duel you. It just helps him. He gets health out of you, or even if the health trade isn't that good, he still gets AP, so he'll be stronger
Veigar
later.
is a very difficult. Like, it's a tough one to kind of blind pick like this. I'm not sure why they would blind pick Veigar in the first round of picks. I think Veigar is not a very blind pickable mid. I think he has a lot of really difficult matchups. I think we actually even saw that in week 1 whenever they, who was it? I think Frost Lions versus Large Scale Disparity. We saw an early Veigar pick and then got immediately countered by Katarina, and then Katarina went absolutely ape.
Yes,
right?
we did
Katarina went off. And I was like, and because I know the player that is playing, since I know the mid of Large Scale Disparity, because, I went to college with him and stuff, whenever I saw the Veigar pick, I was like, oh no, wait, what are you doing? Wait, you're playing against an assassin player who just licks his lips whenever he sees a Veigar chosen. Yeah, and then that's exactly what happened.
We talked about that in that first week, was like, this Veigar, you cannot blind him. You're gonna get punished. And I think Xerath, well, maybe not as punishing as the Katarina that purely ran over that game. Xerath is still going to be a problem. There's a reason he has some niche pro play presence, specifically, mostly as an Azir counter at the top level, but it's just because he has so much range.
Yeah.
He is ridiculously long range, and he hits very hard in the early game, even with no items. And to top it all off, he's got a passive that restores mana, so he can keep hitting you hard. You're going to have to back, and he's going to be able to shove the wave because he'll have more mana than you. So Xerath really likes to play against other mages, because generally the strength of the mage is that they outrange and outpoke you, and that their, very high damage lets them control waves a certain way. But that doesn't work against Xerath because he just outranges you. He trades any form of safety or mobility for pure range. He has no defensive abilities. He's got a stun, I guess, but
as I continue to look at this, I'm actually still confused by DPS's draft. Why did they blind the Veigar in B3, and was their last pick of the draft for con support?
Yeah, I think you
Into a
swap.
Nautilus.
Yeah, you swap the Recon. I think Recon is playable against Nautilus.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Also, but
I
like,
don't like
whenever
the
we're talking
matchup.
about letting your bad connection carry late, I don't think Rakan is the type of support that enables a ADC to be able
Yeah,
to like carry late, like I thought like an
I would have
enchanter or
liked to
something.
see a
Janna
Milio.
or something. Or
Would have
Yes,
even
Melio. Yes.
Milio would be
Wait,
so
yes,
good this
Melio's so
game.
good here. Yeah, something like that.
No, Milio is kind of a. I'd love to see a Milio on 3 and then save your
Right.
last pick for your mid laner.
Right.
Because either that means they
Get a counter pick
expose
or
they
yeah.
expose their top to counter pick,
Right.
or they expose their mid lane to counter pick, and you're kind of gonna take those when both of those players played well in the last game, right?
They actually just got
were-
countered in both. Like Knights of Istar got to choose their matchup in mid and top, and I feel like you should almost never have that happen. You should be able to
Yeah.
choose one of those matchups. Usually,
I'm not really happy. The more I think about it, I thought DPS draft was okay but playable, and the more I look at it, it feels worse and worse because
Yeah.
there's so many small things you can change.
Right.
Knights of Ishtar, I think, walk away super happy with this.
oh 100. Yeah, for sure. Surprising. Not what I expect from DPS, and the praises that we say good to your bad connection here. I don't know. I'm confused by these draft decisions. They could still like. It's not like the game's over. Like their draft is not so much worse that they're
No,
just. It's
there's
over.
there's a
that they
reason
lose
there's
to
a reason they
Tantalus.
play the games, folks.
Yeah.
But what Yale just beat a 3 seed, guys. Like anything's
Oh,
possible.
I haven't even been watching. That's crazy. All right. Well, let's get into this break real quick, mostly so I can realign the names in the on the other screen here. But we'll be right back with the start of game 2 between these two teams. I don't even have enough time to run an ad break, so you guys will get off scot-free this time. Dude, that's solid Champions League music. Okay, are you paused at 5?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's bring our audience in here with us. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You with me? 13,
Yep.
14. Here we are. Into game 2 between Knights of Istar and DPS. DPS now on the blue side. Knights of Istar winning game 1. That's what I keep saying this, but in case people are confused, that's what that little dot up in the top right is supposed to represent. The numbers wasn't working for me, so that's what we're doing. And
They
here we
are,
have a stack from DPS and a
from
potential
both sides.
invade.
Both sides are stacked up,
Ooh,
all
this could
5
be
in one
interesting.
spot.
Could be interesting.
We talked about Nautilus last game. I said he's one of the strongest level 1 supports, so he really helps with the engage.
here
The
they
advantage
come.
over Braum is the length on that Q.
Oh wait, are
but
they gonna
they
wrap
find
around?
out-
Are they gonna wrap around?
They
Oh
find out
wait,
that
they're
ward.
backing. They think that it's over, but they may. Oh.
I think both teams are gonna call this off and go back to normal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I thought they were gonna wrap around to the backside of red, which I thought would have been really funny.
That would have been kind of genius because they did kill the ward and then everyone immediately left. It would have
Yeah,
been a 5 on
exactly.
3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I thought would have been next level.
Highlight I actually want to talk about that we didn't during draft is Tygoon on the Poppy I'm a big fan of Poppy. I think even in games where Poppy doesn't have the most impact because they're not a jungler, when you have the Poppy top, you're not impacting the early game as much. You still have so much util on that champ. You can shut down a lot of champs' entire kits. And the Poppy versus Jax matchup actually isn't unplayable for Jax. It's generally Poppy favored, but if you can bait out the steadfast presence, or your jungler can, you win the 1v1 if you can get on top of the Poppy. Speaking of the 1v1, how about the level 1? Here comes Frostbite and Death by Video Game getting some good damage onto Earbag Connection, who's forced to burn the Ghost. The spinning axes for Draven, so much damage early.
What happens when you cheese? I heard that when you cheese, you don't get level 2 first. We'll see what actually happens here. Oh, they got level 2 first. Well,
you get level 2 first if you get that much control over wave. My goodness. Here comes. This is why you win the matchup if you can get on top of Poppy as Jax. The counter strike means Poppy really has no way to damage you. And then you get a stun off, and Poppy really only goes in. There's not a lot of going out. Force the flash at a Ventro. That could be very powerful.
Flash with the volley bear.
Death by Video Game gets another hook. Out comes the root. Another escape from Milkman is able to just dash away once again, but very low. A couple of good autos from Frostbite, and that's going to be the end of his health bar. I think it's smart from Black Fate, trading the flash for flash in the mid lane. It gives Quaker a chance to do something, about with it. Oh, the flash auto into the hook. Really well played, but the knockup from Draven barely misses. Is able still to get good damage in, but it does mean Milkman survives by the skin of his teeth, by the feathers of his cape. Once again, this Rakan just gets out.
The Milkman.
Death by Video Game going for the same thing, just sitting in this bush, and they don't have vision. They don't know if he's sitting back further, waiting to save Frostbite if something happens, or if he's sitting right up in the front. But they're playing far enough back, it's not going to matter. Death by Video Game able to participate in some farm with his support item. Tygoon opting into Mr. Krabs here, gets the Q down. That does do percent health damage, so it is a powerful tool against other top laners who tend to be fairly beefy. Gets the grass proc, so he's winning the trades here. He does need to be careful because Black Fate is just slowly waiting. Out comes, really well played from Mr. Krabs. Tygoon's not able to steadfast presence that Q, and this might be the end of him. Tygoon flashes out.
Black Fate not able to get there. Doesn't have flash after using flash in the mid lane to follow there.
Yeah. Bullabear now pinging that Poppy flashed as well, so Black Fate doing some work, getting some spells out of the enemy team.
And once again, Roberto just kind of farming. We haven't seen him anywhere yet.
If Roberto probably waiting to get that first item, really wants to, have his impact felt. He might be able to hang at some of these early objectives, but the Kraken Slayer is where the Viego really picks up. Viego, you have to be a little careful with when you decide to start fighting with him, but he might decide to start fighting here. Vaperto's in position and Black Fate is backing, but Vaperto's just going to back up and check on Grubs. Ultimately, nothing happens. Vaperto starting the Grubs now. Yeah, in terms of that top side engage, Tygoon needs to shut down the Leap Strike with his Steadfast Presence. If not, he's going to lose that trade every time. Milkman and Earbag Connection getting vision down. This is important because Viego, you don't want vision on your lane because you're going to know when Viego's ganking you because of his E. How the visuals on that, the way they work. You're going to know he's ganking you. You're just not going to know where he's coming from. And by the time you see it, it's generally a little too late. Similar to other, invisibility champions, you want to get that ward down early.
Here at the same
Could
time.
see a 2v2 in the mid lane. Vaperto backing up, does get caught by the Veigar baby cage, opts to go in here, and Veigar picking up the first blood, and now Ventro alting. Maybe he's able to kill Black Fate. Just one more auto. He is able to, and now he's got a friend. The dredge line misses, but the auto does not. Out comes the root. Quaker just essentially gonna have to duel with Death by Video Game here, but he's getting poked down by Ventro. Another root comes out. Out comes the ignite, and Quaker is no more. pains me to say it, Quaker, you gotta just run away there, man. The second you see the 2v1, like, even if you know Ventro's low, it's just a little greedy. You did get the first blood, so you got that going for you. But I'd like to play a lot more if you didn't give up another kill. Now, Death by Video Game going to come right back to the bot side. Once again, established bot prio is able to land the dredge line. Milkman goes in for the knockup. Doesn't matter. Here comes Frostbite.
Doesn't
So
go
much
to
damage.
Draven actually is significant.
That's pretty big. Draven's passive. He gets so much gold if he picks up the kill. Unable to get one there as Death by Video Game picks up another kill. We talked about tank supports being so powerful if they're not on support income. We could see Death by Video Game with 2 kills here. Maybe pick up some bigger, more impactful tank items. Especially since, you know, Poppy is struggling a little bit into the Jax matchup. Down 15 farm right now. Ultimately, everyone's going to kind of take a chill pill. Never mind, Mr. Krabs stops his back. Tygoon takes a short little health trade. Nothing doing. No fight at Dragon. It's just going to go over to Knight's Ishtar. Good stun from Mr. Krabs, but Tygoon close enough to his tower that he can't really capitalize on it. He is controlling this wave really, really well.
Yeah. Okay,
Quaker able to proc the electrocute on Ventro, but that's the power of that Xerath. It does so much damage off of the 1Q. Quaker takes a lot of damage from the minions. Quaker sidesteps another Q. Now Ventro needs to be careful with it on cooldown.
Right?
Yeah, here it comes. Black Fate's coming in, shuts down the tower, flashes onto him, stuns him. Unable to get the stun for Quaker, so he'll just take the auto for the kill. Black Fate going down. Oh, never mind. If the shield's going to save him, does Vaperto go down? Nope. Was that it? Did Quaker die to the dredge line? No, he didn't. Okay, no, Ventro got the kill.
Yeah, he just started walking towards the enemy tower. Why? Did you prefer to go to
give
I
the
think,
Nautilus the kill?
Yeah, but why would you not give it to Nautilus? Yeah, you ended up giving it to Ventro. I'm like, but why? Why would you do that?
Ventro? An intended engage in the bot side, but here comes the level 6 Nautilus. Dredge line. Oh, this is a really scary dive. Frostbite, not able to get both kills, does pick up Milkman. Death by Video Games able to use the flash and get out. Really well executed dive there. I cannot speak English today.
See, that's what I was thinking. Like, I feel like you want a disengage, someone that can help you disengage whenever you're playing the Sivir.
Yeah, I love the Milio. I love the Renata Glask.
Yeah.
Is another great option into Nautilus. One of the best disengage champs in the game. Seraphine was banned, but that's another answer. You have options. I generally favor disengage-focused enchanters. Not that it's the strongest champ on its own, but like Nami falls in that category.
What you trying to do here? Ooh, we haven't seen Nami in a long time. We haven't seen Nami in a while. I think Nami's a great champion.
She's not very good, Etoe. I'm sorry.
But I mean, I guess those classic supports aren't as good in 2024, but I think they still do what they do. They're still useful in a competitive setting. I feel like you can make champions that aren't as popular still work. Like,
yeah,
it's still good for a competitive environment.
My question is, how many of these people, like, how many of these supports is Nami in their pool over, like, I'm going to be practicing my Nautilus. I'm going to be practicing my Milio, my Renata.
I guess people aren't playing Nami. But if you've been a support player for a long time, Nami's in your pool. Nami's in every support pool. There was a time where Nami was incredibly important.
Nami's in my pool. I think Nami's fine. I just choose not to play her.
Yeah, I never could just pick up Nami. You don't have to be an e-girl to play Nami. Nami's a great character.
You heard it here first, folks. Remember, guys, you don't have to be an e-girl to play Nami.
It doesn't make you one either. If you play Nami,
you can be a big manly man and play Nami.
Exactly.
I want to talk about this. Vaperto, 1-1-1, but he has total objective control. He's got 6 grubs. Ooh, this is why you opt for the Sivir Rakan combo with both their ults. They're so fast, but it doesn't matter. Frostbite is just so much damage on his own. He's able to interrupt Rakan's engage with those dual axes and nothing doing for poor DPS again.
No. This is why you opt for Rakan
in real time.
That is so funny. Is that why you opt for Rakan?
I mean, to be fair, it is why they opted for it, right? You
Yeah,
combine
I
those ults, you
suppose.
drop the Sivir ult,
Yeah.
but Milkman's not level 6, so you don't get
The
get the
CC, the
swiftness
charm, yeah.
to come in.
I was like, I
Like,
feel like whenever you
generally,
opt for Sivir, you're opting for late game, baby. You're opting for. We're probably not gonna win this late, but boy, oh boy, are we gonna be monsters at 400
can be
CS.
powerful because of the combo of
the
on the hunt and the
swiftness plus
swiftness.
the
you
swift
make
hunt.
your Rakan so fast.
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
he wasn't level 6 there, and he gets his engage stopped. And he might be dying again. Vaperto waiting for him. He W's out, uses the flash, still getting hit, and that's it. The Heartbreaker turn.
Oh, and they don't kill. They do kill Tiger.
Oh, Poppy getting dove, and my goodness. They'll take that as a consolation prize on the top side, but they're down 3,500 gold. They've not gotten a dragon. They got 6 grubs. Just total control again from Knights of Ishtar. Another plate for Frostbite, and he has so much gold in his pocket now. Nearly 100 farm. He's already got his first item, halfway to his second. And here comes Death by Video Game. Your bad connection. Eats the stun, eats the dredge line, eats the root, and out comes the airborne. It might not be enough to save. Definitely not enough since Vaperto's here, and now they're going to give up 2 kills. Milkman's definitely going down. And yeah, Black Fate decides to step away. Probably a smart decision there, my bear-shaped friend. Might not be enough. He didn't step away far enough. Vaperto finds him. He's going in. That's the power of Kraken Slayer on Viego. My goodness, Kraken Slayer, Bear Slayer, he'll take down anyone right now.
Ooh, no, Javen's.
Not even commenting on that. I mean,
yeah, Javen's getting a bit too strong.
Frostbite right-clicked Quaker 4 times, and Quaker stopped existing. That's the problem with a low-range mage. You're, really good steadfast presence to shut down the leap strike there.
Ooh, it's tough. This escape's not looking so hot.
It might just be, maybe Knights of Ishtar are them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they are, but I also feel like defense didn't give themselves the best chance here.
No,
I'm like trying to defend my original position of putting DPS as power ranking 3 right now. It's like I believed in their intangibles. I believed in their experience. I believed in their draft, even if they didn't have the highest rank. Like in terms of pure points and rank, they should have been near the bottom. I think they only had a 2-point roster at the time. But I just believed in UBC. I believed in their teamwork. I believed in their draft. And those are the things that I feel like they're mostly failing on, not just being mechanically outplayed in an individual skill level. I mean, there may be a little bit of that going on here too, but like I feel like just the draft itself wasn't that good. Like the prep wasn't very good. Those are the things I expect them to be. I expect those to be strengths of this team, and it does not seem to be right now.
Just did so much damage. He does so much damage now. The dredge line misses. The heroic charge doesn't stun. Out comes the knockup from both depth charge and keeper's verdict. Vaperto unstoppable. He's gonna take. What happened? Wait, what happened there? Did Vaperto hardcore over the wall as Rakan W'd? It felt like Vaperto was on one side of the wall and then he wasn't.
Huh. Yeah. True.
I need to like
not
look
sure,
at that for a second. Sure, bad connection. Eats another fully charged skew from Ventro. He's able to shield off one ability, sidesteps the next one, but no, not going to stick around very long. This mage is 3, 1, and 6, has so much damage with first strike.
One way we could have looked at it is I could clip on the stream and go back on my other screen here.
Tegan's gonna get a tower here. The power of those grubs coming out. Look at all that damage over time against the tower. Even when Tegan's not hitting it, that thing's going down quick. And it feels like another game where Mr. Krabs...
I think he flashed to the other side of the wall, by the way. I think that's what
he
happened.
flashed to the other side of the wall. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
I lost it and all. I lost it at the three particle effects all going on at the same time.
He flashed. I'm looking at it now. He flashed. Interesting.
Because I just saw him walk up as Bully Bear and then just on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, suddenly, yeah.
Viego. And I was like, okay.
It does look very strange.
I said put Mr. Krabs on someone with a little more agency, and he did fine in lane. I would say he did perfectly fine, but he doesn't seem to.
He's a scaling. We
direction to
need
go
more
at this
time.
point.
We need more time. He scales. He's playing. He's on a scaled
They
person.
have a scaling comp. I don't know if Knights Vishtar are gonna give him the time to scale. Another route. The staggering blows are ridiculous. The dredge line comes out. Milkman gets away.
They have the scaling carries of Jax, Sivir, and Viego, Veigar, right? But then the other two pieces don't really complement that idea of scaling.
Heartbreaker. Boom. And sometimes, I do like, I don't hate Black Fate picking the Volibear. I mean, if you pick a team of 5 champions who scale, it's probably going to take too long for your comp to get a foothold. Like, the other team's just going to bowl you over in early and mid game. You need some sort of mid game bridge.
Yeah,
so while I understand it, it wasn't executed
along
well
with
enough.
Rakan. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just tough. Oh boy. Oh, they're losing a lot
already
here.
on the Nexus
They're losing a
towers.
lot
We're
really
at
quickly.
17 minutes here. Black Fate's gonna come out. Out comes the stun. Here comes the swiftness. Charmed all across the team. They're getting a couple kills. Here comes Mr. Krabs taking kills as well. Heartbreaker comes down, but it doesn't matter. Mr. Krabs has a triple kill now. And maybe, is this enough? Mr. Krabs quadra kill, it looks like. My goodness.
Okay.
A really well played fight, but the caveat to that, Knights Vishtar well overextended and sitting on a lot of gold. They're going to have to replicate that a few times to catch back up. They're still down 8,000 gold. It was a good fight, but it's still shaky. They need a couple more of those, but it does buy them a lot of time. Knights Vishtar maybe getting a little overconfident. Where is that Poppy teleport going? Into the thick of it. Out comes the Steadfast Presence. Another teleport to respond from Mr. Krabs. And Ventro kills your bad connection, and Tygoon walks away unscathed. Good bait from Tygoon, I guess? I don't even know how to describe that play. He teleported in, Steadfast Presence walks away, and then your bad connection gets ulted by Ventro, and that guy does... He's gone from stupid damage to goofy damage. That's like video games. Going in now, locking everyone down with dredge line, staggering blows. Tygoon comes in with the heroic charge, buying even more time for Frostbite to come over and clean things up. And that time they bought themselves a might be gone now. They're at a 5v4. Veigar are splitting to get towers in the top side, but Knights Vishtar wasting no time pushing into the base. They're looking for another inhib here. And they're going to find it. They've got all 5 members. They're pressing in now.
Unfortunately, we have a little bit of a spoiler in the chat, so I know what happens here. But
Frostbite stepping forward. He's getting so much damage on the Blackfeet. It doesn't matter that you're in Fountain. The bear is gone. Keeper's Verdict comes out. Milkman gonna get a 5 charm. Swiftness, it's not enough. Too much damage on the other side. An ult comes out from Frostbite now. Tygoon fighting with the best of them right outside the fountain. He's not going to let Quaker go. And this is as easy as you like. An ace for nothing. And that is game.
Yeah. Whew. That was a quick one.
20 minutes on the dot.
Mm-hmm. There was a question about, is that the fastest? Did we get the world record for the fastest game? Is that the fastest game? There feel like there seems to be a lot of chatter about a lot of mysticism about how fast the fastest game in BTL has been. The fastest game that I've seen is faster than this, yes. And it is in Defiance's game. I think last time he said it was 12 minutes. It was not 12 minutes. That would be ridiculous. But it was 16 minutes and like 4. I actually do have a clip of it that I can find. It was 16 minutes and some change. Yes. This game ended up ending at 1957. So it is a pre-20 minute game, which is blistering fast. Let me tell you, pre-20 minutes is ridiculous.
Yeah,
if you finish the game before Baron spawns, that is absolutely bonkers.
In a competitive setting, to win the game before Baron, keep in mind, like, if you guys don't watch, a bunch of international leagues because of the time, there's the Chinese league, the LPL. they play essentially 2 games per game, because there's the game that happens before the Baron, and then there's where they play almost like the LCK, pretty reserved, kind of picking fights here and there. And then there's the game that happens after the Baron, where people just go crazy and start murdering each other. That didn't happen. There was only before the Baron.
That was Lethal Temple Volibear. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
I mean,
is that a thing?
No.
I mean,
I'm gonna safely say maybe Black Fate's sitting on some dark evil pack tech that I don't know about, watered with the blood of 36 demigods. But
no, it's a thing. Okay, no, it's not a thing. It's played in 3% of games. Like there is a build for it on op.gg.
Yeah, but as a jungler,
it is 87% of the time press the attack, but in
this game, it was not a thing. He got out damaged by the Nautilus.
Okay, well, he is that 3% that plays it. It's him. He represents the 3%.
Yeah, really tough game again for DPS. It just they're struggling to find team cohesion so far this split. I don't want to like talk bad on a team, because all these players are incredibly skilled. They are better than I am. That's for certain. I'm like, listen, I'm not allowed to be like, you're terrible, all right? That's just mean. I'm not mean spirited, but like, I need to see a spark, guys. I want to see something that makes me go, okay, it might have been a loss, but at least
I wrote such a long paragraph for them at the beginning of the season. I'm waiting. I believe, but I was like, I've also seen DPS do poorly in regular season and then have incredible playoff runs. Like even last season or the season before that was an example of that, where they like went from like the first season of the Gauntlet all the way to semifinals, the first day of the Gauntlet. So they have gone on long playoff runs before, so the Cinderella story is still there, and they could figure it out later on in the season. But I would like to see them figure it out just a little bit quicker, because I keep having faith, and I'm like, no, they're real good, guys. I swear. I swear on it. No, I believe in them. They have good drafts. They do serious draft prep. I say that, and right now it's just like people feel like I'm crazy. If you haven't been here before, you're like, I think he's off his rocker. There's no way. This team, these guys. Anyways, who are we bringing in for the interview? It looks like Death by Video Game. It looks like Stevie Wonders, aka what do you call him now?
The Milkman.
Yeah, aka the Milkman with like a.
Hey,
that's
listen,
good content.
buddy.
Sure. We could bring in the person who wrote the power rankings.
Oh no, the loser side interview. Those are rough, man.
We're not doing this. No. This isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wait, yeah, it is. You're right. That is a loser side video interview. Bring me for an interview. Do you want to do that?
You gotta win the game first, bro. I'm sorry.
I didn't even realize that is the loser side. I almost grabbed them. I not even think loser side interview would be crazy.
I'm trying to decide who to give it to, because man, what a
they all did so well. Yeah.
I see Ventro calling for Frostbite. I was thinking about calling for Ventro.
Ventro did the most damage in that second game. Who did the most damage in the first game? Well, whenever they post that, if you guys could post those screenshots for the match results, that'd be tight.
I think. Oh, I want to say Frostbite did the maybe the most damage in the first
Frostbite,
game.
Get that guy. Oh, was it Frostbite again in game 1? Let's see, who did he play in game 1? He was the Senna. Game 1 draft was so interesting. We interviewed Frostbite. Did we interview Frostbite last time? Maybe we did for Perito. I mean,
I know we interviewed Frostbite week 1. I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You know, again.
Ventro cooked for real.
Yeah, I'm favoring Ventro. I think he played just consistently well across both games.
I'm fine with that. Grab somebody new. We can grab Ventro. No, all the guys in that division probably have time.
He was 13-2 on Mordekaiser.
Oh, that's right. That's true. That's true. He was massive on Mordekaiser. That's true. All right, we'll grab Ventro then. Ventro is the real MVP. He's the real MVP. What's good, Ventro?
How's it going, guys?
It's going all right, man. How you doing? How you feeling? Yeah. Helped. If DPS had to leave early, if that's why we were rescheduled to this earlier time, then you guys certainly helped them out. Get him out
Yeah,
there nice
no,
and quick.
that was our game plan. We were just trying to help out some BTL boys, and I think we did just that. So
Yeah, really great across 2 games. I mean, you got that like triple kill in the first game and then never looked back in the second game. Just sheer amounts of poke from so far away. You did so much damage. The first game, I kind of want to talk draft because you saw the first two from the other team be
We can even bring it back up.
Shinjao and Ivern, and
Yep.
they've run that before, and it worked really well for them. Were you concerned at all about the Ivern mid matchup against Quaker, or was your guys' draft, ready for that?
I'm not gonna lie, I did not expect an Ivern mid. Everyone in call said it right as he picked it. I was like, is he actually gonna play that? Like, there's no way.
Oh, did
I
you miss
guess it
that
was
clip?
annoying,
Did,
but
did you miss that? They played it either in one of the earlier weeks, and he like popped off on
oh,
Iron
did
Mid.
they?
Yeah,
Oh shit! Yeah, I
He
mean,
liked
it was
last week, and
annoying.
he kind of went insane.
There's a clip somewhere in game highlights of him doing 1v3 on Iron Mid. It was,
I mean, he did do more damage than me that game. I mean, he's ranged, but
yeah, fair.
but yeah, no, we didn't really have a plan or anything. I guess we just kind of said, okay, we'll just pick this then, and not really care about what you pick.
Did you guys have? I saw someone in the chat mention that you guys got your juggernauts. Is this Juggernaut lineup, the triple Juggernaut lineup, something that you guys have been like cooking up? Something that you like planned on playing today?
To be honest, this is my first time seeing Jack's jungle from Vaporto, but we played it well.
Okay.
Mordekaiser Aatrox is something we always kind of like to either flex, to be honest.
Okay, yeah.
So I guess that's probably what they could refer it to, but yeah, no, we haven't played with Jax yet. But I guess you could call it the new trio of Juggernauts, yeah.
Yeah, we were so focused on the draft on one side because we saw like a Rex side top, and we look over and they have Jax, Mordekaiser, and Aatrox.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
where
have
any of those people are going.
a triple top lane over on
Yeah,
that
no, you
side.
could tell we were
Top
getting all the grubs that game. You could kind of just tell off draft.
Yeah, that's fair.
Second game, your opponent blinds Veigar. Is Xerath your favorite Veigar counter? You just like outranging the little guy?
Yeah, basically. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but he took electrocute, and like I don't think he got it off once
Oh,
the entire game. Maybe he got like
I think he got
once.
it off
I think.
once because I
Mid
called it out
on
like,
Viego.
very
Yeah, I
early.
think.
yeah.
I think he autoed and got it off.
Oh, did he? Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I saw it was like 62 damage at the end of the game or something, and I was like, well, yeah.
Oof.
I've been there before, so I could kind of sympathize with him. But yeah, no. Xerath, Ziggs, anything that outranges really, and it's pretty unplayable.
Yeah, I was surprised you guys kind of got the counter pick in both lanes in game two because they picked the Veigar early, which was interesting to us on the desk. And I'm not sure if you guys, I mean, I'm sure whenever you're drafting against it, you're not really questioning what the enemy team is doing. Like, oh, wow, they did that. That doesn't make a lot of sense to us, but okay, we'll just take advantage of it anyways. So I'm
Yeah,
not
we didn't
sure.
know what they had up their sleeve. Tygan kind of said maybe it could be support
Oh,
because
yeah.
they hadn't picked that yet. Maybe that's what they were trying to do, but
Right.
I mean, I'm not really sure what they were trying to do. So we just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That second game. Does that second game? I feel like I haven't been in a game that ends another 20 minutes without a surrender. Does it feel super fast? Like, have you guys played it like in scrims or other games? Have you played a game that feels that fast? Like, did that game feel super fast, or were you just like look up like, oh my god, the game's over? All right, I guess we're good.
Yeah, it felt like that with the series. To be honest, it was just
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, that's true.
oh shit, we were supposed to start
This
30
series
minutes ago.
started. Yeah, this series started an
Yeah.
hour and a half ago, guys. We
Yeah,
usually
right,
don't
so-
start. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so
Hey, all right. Do you have any?
nothing.
Do you have any other quick questions, Superbren?
Nah, I'm just sat here in awe. That's it. I'm just soaking
Fair
it
enough.
in.
I do want to shout out some people, my team. I want to shout out to America because that's where I'm from. That's my native country,
Okay.
and yeah.
I love the shout out to
Shout-
America.
shout out America.
They need it.
That's-
They need
They
the sponsorship. They're doing
not
too
that
well
many
these days.
people have heard of the United States. Most people don't know about it, but yeah, it's a pretty neat country. Good views sometimes.
Yeah, no. Have you guys been there?
yeah. It's pretty
Oh,
cool
nice.
place. Yeah.
They invented
Yeah,
this
no.
thing called Walmart. I'm very interested in trying.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. I'll have to check that out. Yeah.
All right, next week y'all play Large Scale Disparity. Have you looked at any? Do you know anything about them? Have you looked at any of their games?
LSD, right? Yeah.
Yeah, LSD.
Besides their name, I haven't really
Fair enough.
seen much. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm sure you guys will get more prepared for that. I was
Yeah,
saying
no,
that
we
you
didn't have
guys,
much
you
streams,
guys
so.
kind of hilariously played their exact ideal bot lane, but
Yeah.
maybe you guys will. And they also did a thing where they counterpicked the Veigar like in week 1. So
Oh, did they? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
so it'd be kind of interesting. That'll be your matchup for next week. You guys, I'm so assuming feeling pretty confident going into probably all the matches. Frostbite was just saying that he just thinks you guys are kind of just leagues ahead of everyone else. Do you also feel that same way?
Yeah, he's kind of our ego guy on the team, but
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I would never not say that, or I wouldn't normally say that, but
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
fair. That's
I
fair.
mean, to put it bluntly, yes.
Fair enough. All right.
So yeah, thanks guys.
Yep.
Hey,
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, we don't have anything
Yep.
else.
Cool.
That's getting us out of here early so far. We will be back though. So like again, this is our first match of the day. We do have a second match, but that'll be in like 3.5 hours because of this how quick this match was and the fact that we don't only get started until 6 p.m. EST. So at 9 p.m. EST, we will be back here with the match between, I think it's actually Large Skill Disparity. I think is who we have later today. Mighty Throw versus Large Skill Disparity. So if you're talking about In Defiance and LSD, we're just talking about them. That's In Defiance teams. Red Strike, I believe, into them. So want to see those boys play. Then tune back in here at 9 p.m. EST. And in the meantime, let's see if we have anybody that we could host. Or I guess it's not called a host anymore. It's called a raid. Oh, look at that. Look at someone who's live. Mrs. Chim Chim, who is someone who we used to be friends with. We've like kind of collaborated with her. She used to host some of our streams like 4 years ago. Whenever she was like a little bit of a, she's like almost, I don't want to say it, she's like kind of Hollywood now because she's like big and famous and she was on LCS streams. But she's fantastic. One of my favorite League of Legends, honestly, one of my favorite League of Legends content creators and streamers. She's live right now. And if she remembers us in the BTL, I'm sure she does though. But yeah, she helped us host the tournament before, and she hosted some of our streams back in the day. But I recently saw some. If you follow us on Twitter, I recently shouted her out that she was on the LCS streams. She gets invited to those things nowadays, and she used to average like 30 viewers like us. Now she averages like 200. But yeah, she's cool as hell. Love Reagan. Go shout out Reagan. Give her all the love from BTL. One of my absolute favorite streamers, Mrs. Chim Chim. She's live right now, and we will see you guys back here at 9 p.m. EST. Do you have anything else to say before? Oh, I actually can't raid her. That's hilarious. Like, we're going to have to raid someone else. Raid
Once
settings
again.
do not allow you to raid at this time. All right, well, wait, crowd the god.
Okay, I'm sorry. We didn't mean it.
No,
We
yeah,
mean
yeah,
it.
damn. Okay, yeah, damn.
We'll
I
go
mean,
somewhere
honestly,
Going up some
when
higher
when
ups.
you when you get to a certain size and amount of publicity, I guess you can't just let anyone rate your channel. I forgot you could change
Yeah,
those
only
rate
the
channels.
only the cool kids can
yeah,
read your channel.
yeah, only the
we
cool
just,
kids. Yeah, we're not cool. enough.
I'm sorry, guys. I bring down the cool factor. On
Yeah,
this
yeah,
team
yeah.
by,
We're
like,
not.
at least
Never mind.
50%.
We're not cool enough. So you guys can check out Mrs. Chim Chim's stream on your in your own time. I suppose we won't be rating that from here, but we will rate Quad the God. JK, we back on the OGs of the BTL squad. Quad the God streaming Lost Ark because that man is addicted to that game, it seems. So he's back on the Lost Ark grind. We're going to raid Quad the God, who had a team in BTL Season 1, another one of the OGs. So we'll be sending it over to him. And we will see you guys back here at 9 p.m. EST. That's so funny. I was like, oh, wait, actually, we can't raid Mr. Chim Chim.
We got ego check.
Yeah, we really did get ego check. But like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on LCS streams now. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I don't see how you can hate from outside the club.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even get in. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you guys.
I'm gonna head out.
All right, peace out.
Catch
Have
you
a
guys
good one.
later.